right, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashur Hakodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. On the high spirit, we're in lawyer. And today I want to go into a topic entitled just being on point. And what does it mean to be on point? Hey, the scripture speak about being circumspect. Hey, you know, it speaks about Satan as a roaring lion, seeking to devour who he may devour. All right. All right. And, you know, we had a few incidents that happened in Great Millstone because, the scripture said you should be hated of all men for my name's sake. So whether it was other Israelite camp leaders that put hit outs on us or Edomites, whatever, you know, we're in the field, man. And that's why I entitled this lesson Being on Point, man. All right. And you have to rewind back a couple months where Elder Apostle Tahar was saying, look, be circumspect, don't be out in clubs and bars, and don't just be out and about. And now we see why he said it. Now, see, certain orders are coming out through the spirit, then you will see why, because, man, we got motherfuckers that's out for us, man. All right, we got agencies that's watching us. All right, you got government agencies. Then you got private people that's in a position to hire somebody to put a hit out on you or to hire somebody to hurt you, man. And they're all watching us. You got suspicious looking people coming by the camp watching us, you know, and they got these ominous vibes on them, these suspicious spirits on them, whether it's a man or a woman, man. You got people that, you know, you see them in your day-to-day and it is something off about them. You know, you got to take heed to all that because it could be something, it could be nothing, but you got to take heed to all that. Certain co-workers ask you certain questions. All right, just be like, monitor what you tell them, you know, because people can be planted in your life. They can be hired from agencies and they can act like regulars in your life, but really they work for the FBI, the CIA. You got niggas that come to the camp, all right, and niggas that was, you know, they could work for certain agencies, man. All right, they could work for certain agencies. Well, I'm not gonna say could. We got implants amongst us. We got agents amongst us. You know, you don't know what a nigga do for that bag. Hey, but Yahweh Shai gave us the rundown 2,000 years ago. Your brother should betray you. Your family should betray you. When the shit hit the fan, it's gonna be scary because Esau gonna do a blitz. He gonna kick that. Hey man, he gonna kick the dough in on your family, on your mama, your dad, your cousin. All right, Queen and Slim. Hey, that was a movie that made me really reflect. All right, that betrayal could come from survival mode, and they feel like, shit, why would I risk my family to keep this brother alive? Or it could come from that bag, like, shit, I could be up 100K if I drop his location. I could be up a meal or two if I drop his location, man. All right, so we got to be careful because Esau has already planted people in our life. And they can de-arm you and they can make you think that they're just regular people in your life. But they can be agents, man. But it's okay because while they're watching us, Yahweh Bahashai is watching them. All right? And I also believe that Yahweh Bahashai, he has implants. He has agents. All right, from the spirit world who are really angels unawares. This is Yahweh's planet, man. This is his earth, man. He might have a brother in the camp that could be an angel. All right? We just got to keep the faith, man. All right? The scripture says some of you should be put to death. Some of us are going to be put to death. Some of us are going to be harmed, but it's all for Yahweh Bahashim side. All right, brother didn't fall out the truth because a brother got hurt. You know, brother waiting to get out the hospital and go back at it, man. But we do have to be careful how we move. You know, hey, like Drake said, no new friends, man. You know, real shit, no new friends. You know, but it's being on point, and not only in your day-to-day life. Hey, for brothers that, you know, we all got our vices. Some brothers like to eat a little more than other brothers. Well, now it's time to trim that part, because you could be drunk with really food. You could be drunk with liquor. Liquor can keep your mind dull, and you don't even realize your mind is dull. So brothers got stickers like, shit, let me go a couple weeks without drinking. Some of us shouldn't drink at all. If you ain't got a woman, you know, if you don't have a team player to help me, brother gotta say, man, let me go a couple weeks without messing with females, you know, without pursuing a female, without paying, whatever. And you'll realize that you could have been drunk with lust. But that abstinence, that celibacy, or that withdrawal, right, it comes with mental clarity, man. Because we don't even realize how much of a hold that Babylon has on us, man, until we let go of certain things and we experience this clarity, man. See, we in enemy lines, man, and we don't want our minds saturated with drunkenness, with just cloudiness, all right? Because we have our delicacies, our things that we enjoy, you know? So we have to be on point, man. Point blank, period. We have to be on point, man. All right? Like I said, you know, also being on point, like, you know, organizing your life, being more organized, all right? Making sure that we don't have any loose ends, you know? It's part of being on point, too. You know, understand, you know, not giving our attention to everything. Just keeping your life simple, man. All right? Because if you're on point and you've managed yourself well, you can tell when something is out of place. But if your mind is clouded with whatever covetousness you have, all right, if you're all over the place, it's hard to tell when something is out of place in your life. You know, if you're not being circumspect, you don't realize that it's some new characters in your neighborhood, or it's some new characters lingering around camp. So we got to be circumspect, man, and don't underestimate anybody. You know. And one sign to look after, man, is you know, a brother come to camp, right? You got a new guy in the camp, and the nigga want to be around the camp leader, man, or the nigga want to, you know what I mean? Why you want to be around the camp leader, or a nigga asking just certain questions? Like, we got to be on point with all that shit, man. And unless you give people, the more they can take from you, you know. Now, granted, look, we already under surveillance. They already got our phones and information. So whatever agency is watching us, the FBI, the CIA, they're going to do what they're divinely designed to do. That's the serpent for you. The scripture says the wicked watches over the righteous and seeketh to slay him. You know, so that's part of seeking to slay the righteous. All right, it tells you that dragon is going to come after the remnant who keep the commandments. That's us, man. All right, and you have members of different so-called Israelite groups that hate us, man. They deeply hate us. And the moment Esau comes at us, they're going to help. They're going to help, man. Which will make, if that makes sense, because brothers have had dreams that, you know, members of other Israelite camps were mauled by angels, man. Now I see why, man. Now I see why. For one, you teach against the doctrine as far as the charagma, and then you're probably going to throw us under the bus in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. That's part of your brother shall betray you. Other Israelite camps throwing us under the bus, man. You know? But it's cool, you know. It's part of it, you know. But we have to, um. So like I was reading something, we have to pray to Yahweh B'Hashemah Shai to keep our mind clean and keep our minds sharp. All right, because we have a fucking enemy, man. Like I said, we have to be on point, man. But that's pretty much the point, you know. Just look, you know, tying loose ends, clipping loose ends. All right. You know, going through weeks of abstinence from certain things, certain pleasures to get that clarity, because we're gonna need that mental clarity. Certain things we let go, and it makes you a little more aggressive, a little more dominant, you know, because you've taken this pleasure, and temperance and withdrawal makes you strong. It makes you hard. Self-control makes your spirit harder. So when you let go of certain things, it makes you more aggressive. It makes you manlier. It makes you more dominant. You know, you not being able to please your libido, you not being able to drink that your young for a little while. It makes your spirit more aggressive. You know, you're not eating that donut or whatever. It makes your spirit more aggressive. And now we're in that time of we are in the time of war. So in the time of war, you're more like a minimalist as opposed to somebody that's just indulging. So part of being on plan is giving yourself temperance to make your spirit more on point in enemy's territory, man. You know, you want to have a good recall, a good memory, you know. You want, most days out the week, you want to feel energetic, you know what I mean? You don't want to always be in a state of recovering from some type of vice, where you're always in a state of pursuing some type of vice, man. Real shit. You know, but that's pretty much the point, man. Just being on point. Become, you know, keep your life simple, because it's easy to keep up with things when you have a simple life, you know. But with that, to the next time, shalom.